Okay. Hello, everyone. We hope you all had a good Thanksgiving celebration last month with family and friends. This is the November 2024 webinar hosted by the Essex County branch of Ontario Ancestors, which now houses the Franco-Ontarian Research Center. My name is Linda Urquhart. I'll be your host for tonight. Cindy Robichaud will be monitoring the questions, and possibly Tammy Richard and Pat Clancy. They're both here, volunteers as well. I do want to apologize ahead of time if I mispronounce any French language words. I took French in high school right up to grade 13, but that never included conversational French. And besides that, it was over 60 years ago and a lot has been forgotten. So if I pronounce something incorrectly, I apologize and hope that you will not take offense. We are trying our best, but let me assure you that there are fluent French speaking volunteers at the center. Sorry, there we go. Before we start, we would like to acknowledge that the land on which the County of Essex is located is the traditional territory of the Three Fires Confederacy of First Nations, comprised of the Ojibwe, Ottawa, and Potawatomi peoples, which include the Huron or Wendat or Wyandot bands. As family historians, we have all answered the call to discover those who came before us, to share their names, to tell their stories, to remember them. Our ancestors live on because we live on, and we have made it our mission to ensure that no one is forgotten. No matter how difficult the history is, it needs to be shared so we can all learn and do better and be supporters of our local Indigenous communities. Thanks for joining us. Just a reminder that this presentation is being recorded and will be added to the Essex County Branch YouTube channel. Also at this meeting, everyone is muted and your camera is turned off during the presentation. Questions will be answered following the presentation. Just post your questions in the chat box as we go along. The chat box can be found by hovering your mouse at the bottom of your screen. There are a few handouts and we will be posting them later in the chat. Ontario Ancestors is offering a promotion to find new members to the organization. As one of the largest genealogical societies in Canada, we offer many opportunities to learn, connect with members, volunteer to share your knowledge and skills, and to preserve and make available family history resources. As a member, you would enjoy the members-only databases found on both the main OGS website as well as on the Essex County Branch webpage. As a member, you will have free access to society educational webinars and series and access to past sessions of the Family Tree Maker user group. In addition, there are member discounts and special offers as well as member pricing for special events. And most importantly, you will have the opportunity to engage with vibrant branch and special interest group communities which share your genealogy research interests and connect with dedicated member volunteers that can provide help with local records and history. And if you join as a new member in November, you will have the chance to win your membership fee back. There are many ways you can contact us. Our webpage gives you access to many of the digitized collections of the Essex County Branch Library collection, including the newly acquired Franco-Ontarian Research Center Library. Email us at either email address. The second address goes directly to the Franco-Ontarian Research Center. We have two locations. The Windsor Public Library Local History Branch houses the Essex County Branch Library. Check their website for their hours of operation. The Prince Road address takes you to the Franco-Ontarian Research Center, which is open every Tuesday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., as well as the same hours on the second Saturday of each month. Tonight, we will show you how to get there. So join our Facebook group and share or ask questions about your family history research. And our YouTube channel has all the past webinars that we were given permission to share with you. Here are some upcoming dates of interest. Tuesday, November the 19th at 7 p.m., the Family Tree Maker group will be meeting. And Tuesday, November the 28th is Giving Tuesday. So we're hoping that you will think of giving us an early Christmas present this year. It helps to keep the lights on. And Thursday, December the 2nd at 7 p.m., Ontario Ancestors has its last webinar of the year, Family Bibles and How to Locate Those of Your Ancestors by Greg Hilton. The Essex branch does not offer a webinar in December or January, but join us on February the 11th for our first 2025 webinar featuring early Black settlement in Colchester and Amherstburg. Tonight's webinar is a tour of the Franco-Ontarian Research Center given by volunteers of the Essex County branch. The video was recorded by Mark Haslip with myself as narrator. So I will start the show now. Now, if it's too loud, just turn it down on your computer. I can't really help you with that. Okay, here we go.
Linda, do you want to mention about the bar popping up that is kind of beyond our control? The black
Oh,
bars
is
with the
it?
gray bars.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's already going to start, I think.
No problem.
But that, I didn't know that anybody was seeing that black bar.
Yeah, it popped up again. So sorry, folks. We're trying to work with it.
Well, I can get rid of it, but it will come back up as if anybody enters the waiting room.
Yeah, I know.
Is it gone now on your screen?
Except for the one in the middle.
Well, it should be gone now too.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. We'll just have to bear with it this time.
Okay. So let's start this. Okay, why is it not starting? Oh, sorry. Here we go. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the tour of the Franco-Ontarian Research Center. The center is located in the Maryvale building, whose address is 949 Prince Road. Here's a photo of the front of the Maryvale building on Prince Road, but we do not enter the center from this viewpoint. If you're coming from the south, you can enter Prince Road from Huron Line, where you will see a sign for the hospital, which Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the tour of the Franco-Ontarian Research Center. The center is located in the Maryvale building, whose address is 949 Prince Road. Here's a photo of the front of the Maryvale building on Prince Road, but we do not enter the center from this viewpoint. If you're coming from the south, you can enter Prince Road from Huron Line, where you will see a sign for the hospital, which you will drive by. Then you cross Tecumseh Road at the traffic, which has a traffic light, and you drive past Micmac Park, which you will see on your left, and you will also drive past the front entrance to Maryvale on your right. Then before the railroad tracks, you turn right onto College Avenue. You go past the first two driveways and then enter parking lot C. You will then need to find a parking space. There are usually spots available on the top section of the lot, but you can also drive down the small hill and park on the side of the road. Then you walk down to the back door entrance to the building. You'll see the Ontario Ancestors flag as well as the Franco-Ontarian Research Center sign. Once you enter the building, you're going to be on the main floor. There is an elevator on the right, and you take that elevator to the second floor. On leaving the elevator, you will notice that the hall lights go on automatically. You turn down the right hallway and enter the center, where you will be greeted by a volunteer to assist you. Here are the main volunteers available on any given Tuesday. Mark Haslip on the left, Mark Drulard in the center, and David Hutchinson on the right. We will now switch to a presentation on what you can find in the center to help in your family research. Just before we switch to this, I just want to make a quick correction. The address on Prince Road is 940 Prince Road, not 949. Here we go. Welcome to part 2 of the tour of the Franco-Ontarian Research Center, which I will refer to in this webinar as FORCE. As you saw from the film, when you first enter the center, we will ask you to sign in as a visitor. The first thing you will see are the displays of books for sale. And some are used books and some are brand new, often duplicates of what we have in our library collection. And there's a list of these used books on our website. You will also see that there are computers for your use, as well as a copy machine, scanners, and a large research table. And you will undoubtedly meet one of the volunteers who will assist you in locating what you need from the FORCE collection. The first section of the library that you see as you enter are the large white binders, which we call the FORCE Surname Collection. These white binders are arranged in alphabetical order and contain items brought in by visitors to the center, as well as items found by the researchers and volunteers. I have opened the binder that contains surnames Bohm to Beale to show you some items that you can find in these binders. Of course, there are many obituaries, either taken from a funeral home website or clipped out of the newspaper. You'll find vital records such as baptisms, marriage, or death certificates. And there are many funeral cards, which often contain excellent photos of the deceased. And celebrations such as wedding, anniversaries, and birthdays are included, as well as photos of engagement and marriage announcements. Hopefully, we will have them indexed so that you can find if your family is included in this collection. If you are familiar with Excel, we could send you a digital version of a binder and have you index them at your leisure in your home. Please contact us if you are interested. Beside the white binders, you will find the FORCE Obituary Collection. These include obituaries from the Windsor Star from 1941 to 2014, as well as the Chatham Daily News from 1997 to 2003. All of these include indexes, while some of these only include the dates when the obituary was posted. Many of them include very clear copies of the actual obituaries. Directly behind the white binders and the FORCE Obituary Collection, you will find the FORCE Other Provinces Collection, as well as Black history and general historical documents. You will find, among many other records, maritime Acadian genealogies, church records and obituaries from Alberta, marriages and burials in Manitoba, church records from British Columbia, genealogies, Métis, Indigenous and cemetery records from Saskatchewan. At the bottom of the Noir Other Provinces section is a small collection of Black history books and articles. Uncle Tom's Cabin by Harriet Beecher Stowe, first published in 1852, was an anti-slavery novel that had a profound effect on attitudes toward African Americans and slavery in the United States. Goodbye to Uncle Tom also includes a great deal on the Underground Railroad, but focuses on race relations from the late 1950s. Broken Shackles contains the recollections of a resident of Owen Sound, Ontario, an African American known as Old Man Henson, which documents the journey to Canada from the perspective of a person of African descent. He describes the horrors of slavery, his tenacious goal of escaping, and his ultimate freedom in Canada. A Stolen Life, Searching for Richard Pierrepoint, describes the life of this African warrior, born around 1744 in Senegal, captured at the age of 16 and dying in rural Ontario in 1837. There is a large collection of Black history newspaper articles in this noir collection. I'm just showing a few of the examples of what you could find here. For example, information concerning Alvin McCurdy's life's work, a race riot in Oil Springs, Windsor's first Black police officer, information about abolitionists, Canada's first Black mayor practicing in Amherstburg, an article about a reunion of formerly enslaved people in the area, and the story of Homer Watkins and his ancestors' flight for freedom. The entire collection is being digitized for the members' library. Across from the Force Other Provinces collection, you will find the Force Family Histories collection. At the beginning of this section, you will find an index to these 500 plus genealogies in alphabetical order by surname. This index gives you the call number of the publication you want to view. The family histories themselves are in call number order, so you need to see the index first so that you can easily find the location where the family history that you are interested in can be found. I couldn't possibly give you a complete list of families included, but just a few are seen here. Couture, Rochelot, Laframboise, Beneteau, Melange, Roy, Grandin, Olette, Pelletier, Arquette, Goyo, Labadie, Lucier, Mass, and Tetro. Some of these family histories are in the form of a published book. Some are smaller, but still very thorough. Some are hundreds of pages. Some are a few pages. All have been donated to the center by their authors so that others can benefit from their research. Some of these family histories are in English, but most are in French. If you cannot translate the French, you'll be surprised at how much you can still understand. Names and dates don't need translation, and the words for birth, baptism, marriage, burial, son, daughter, etc. They are very easy to remember. There is a useful translation of French genealogical words on the Family Search wiki site, and there's always Google Translate. We had a summer student who started digitizing these family histories, and hopefully we can eventually have them all available in the members' library of our website. The next section is the Force Ontario collection. There is a very useful cheat sheet that shows you the village, town, or city in Essex and Kent counties, along with the names of the churches in these areas and where these can be located in the Ontario collection by listing their call number. For example, if you're interested in finding information about Amherstburg or about the Jean-Baptiste Church situated there, you know that they will all have the call numbers starting with Ontario 110. One of the favorite records that family researchers enjoy are church records. The center has the best collection of church records that you will find anywhere. These are the church records that we have digitized, and some can be found in the members' library of our website. For Assumption in Windsor, you'll find baptisms to 1943, marriages to 1985, and burials to 2018. For Immaculate Conception in Pancourt, baptisms go to 1910 and marriages and burials to 1988. For St. Clement in McGregor, baptisms, marriage, and burials go up to 1990. For Sacre-Cœur in LaSalle, baptisms go to 1954. Marriages are up to 1988. For St. Anne's in Tecumseh, marriages and burials are given up to 1985. For St. John's in River Canard, baptisms are up to 1942, marriages to 1988, and burials to 2009. For St. Simon and St. Jude in Belle River, there are baptisms from 1845 to 1907. For St. Jerome in Windsor, Marriages and burials are from 1958 to 1985. For St. Joachim and Ruscombe, baptisms are from 1882 to 1942. For Notre Dame de Lourdes in Comber, marriages and burials are from 1948 to 1987. Our Lady of the Lake in Windsor has baptisms to 1910, marriages to 1928, and burials to 2015. St. Mary's in Maidstone has baptisms and marriages and burials from the beginning of the church to 1910. St. Francis Xavier in Tilbury has marriages from 1855 to 1985. St. Philippe's in Grand Point has baptisms, marriages, and burials from 1883 to 1910. St. Jean-Baptiste in Amherstburg has baptisms to 1900 and marriages and burials from 1802 until 1985. Annunciation in Stony Point has baptisms from 1867 to 1946 and marriages and burials from 1867 to 1983. St. Rose de Lima in Riverside has baptisms to 2008, marriages to 2007, and burials to 2008. St. Peter's in Jeanette's Creek has baptisms from 1797 to 1989, marriages to 1995, and burials to 2013. In addition to church records, the center has a collection of church histories, all of which have English translations included. Some of the fourth collections are highlighted here. The 150th anniversary of the parish of St. Simon and St. Jude in Bell River has an English and French section and includes 59 pictures and short bios of the original families of the parish. A celebration of St. Peter's heritage, 1802 to 1985, which is located in Jeanette's Creek, Chatham, Kent, includes information about the unveiling and dedication of the historical plaque honoring the church. The Parish of Visitation in Comber family album includes photos of all the parish families in 2014. The 100th year history of St. Mary's Church in Maidstone Township includes the origins of the settlement of Maidstone and an 1839 assessment of the Maidstone area, photos of all the priests as well as the sisters of the St. Joseph Order and their parentage, photos of altar boys and veterans, as well as it includes photos of anniversary couples and senior parishioners. It also includes information about the schools in Maidstone, along with early 20th century class pictures. St. Gregory's Church in St. Clair Beach includes a history of the church from its beginning in 1958. Photos of the members of all the organizations in the church, including the folk choir and St. Gregory's school staff. It also includes a list of the parishioners who had died at the time the book was printed, along with their dates of death, and family photos of the current parishioners. The 1880 to 1980 celebration of St. Clement's Parish in McGregor includes a history of the church and the St. Clair Convent and the effects of the tornadoes of 1946 and 1971. It also includes some history of the town itself and has early class photos from St. Ursula's School as well as class pictures from 1980. It also has First Communion photos from 1958 to 1963 and detailed information about families in the parish. The 100-year history of Annunciation in Parish in Stony Point is the only church history written entirely in French, but the 125th anniversary publication has both French and English and includes family photos of all the parishioners. The Pictorial Dictionary of Christ the King Parish Families in Windsor is a colored photo album of all the members of the various organizations in the church, as well as family photos of all the parishioners. The 1984 publication adds additional family photos, and the 50th anniversary publication includes the history of the church. Also found in the Forest Ontario collection are the histories and anniversaries of the towns and townships. We call this the place histories. These include things such as the 100th anniversary of the village of Stony Point, 1881 to 1981, which includes a French and English section. It includes photos of the residents of Stony Point and members of Annunciation Church. The story of Pelee Island up to 1954 includes the history of the land from the time it was only inhabited by indigenous peoples, then through the French and first European inhabitants. An historical review of Maidstone Township contains detailed information about the history of Maidstone, from the first indigenous habitants to the early pioneers of the area, the formerly enslaved Black pioneers, the Puce River settlement, World War I and World War II veterans, the stories of Emeryville, Woodsley, and Puce. Has lists and some photos of all the reeves and councillors of the township. Kingsville through the years, 1783 to 1952, includes a history of early settlement in the area, as well as detailed family chronicles of prominent settlers such as Fox, Gertie, Golden, King, Malott, Miner, Scratch, Weigel, and many others. The history of Bell River, 1874 to 1974. The first half of the book is in English, followed by the French section. It includes information about various early settlers in Bell River, Charles Chisholm, Adelard Trottier, the Ducharmes, William Stewart, Leo Sylvester, James Cooper, John George, Henry Sharon, and the Olettes. It includes early class photos from St. Jean-Baptiste School and St. James High School, as well as a 1930 photo of the workers of the Aylmer Canning Company factory and the Bell River Star baseball team of 1929. Comber Through the Years, printed in 2009, has 25 chapters, including the early history of Comber, various businesses and businessmen, histories of fires and firemen, railroads, doctors, newspapers, churches, schools, Legion and veterans, telephone and utilities, sports, and Tilbury West Township. Memories of Yesterday and Comber Today are also included. There are many more records in the Ontario collection, including but not limited to additional county records, including a large section for Lambton Sarnia, cemetery records transcribed by forest volunteers, as well as headstone photos from a few cemeteries. The Amity Emery card collection. This card collection was donated by the estate of Amity Emery, a noted historian and genealogist located in Pancour. Similar to the white binders, they contain information about ancestors collected by Mr. Emery or donated by researchers who visited his research area, located in his home in Pancour. These cards, as well as an index to them, have been added to the website. And lastly, there is a very large collection of newspaper articles for towns, townships, cities, and parishes that we are calling the Place Collection. The Quebec section of the center is very large. It contains records of the 15 regions of Quebec. It is not an area that I've explored in any detail, but will leave that to you when you visit the center and have assistance of the volunteers with more experience in this area. At the back of the center, you will find covered shelving, including the Drouin collection, the masculine, the feminine, and the petite Drouin volumes. The masculine lists the marriages of French Canadians from 1760 to 1935 in alphabetical order by the groom's surname. The feminine lists the same marriages in alphabetical order by the bride's surname. The petite Drouin is a directory of Catholic marriages in Quebec from 1760 to 1825. This set is alphabetized by the name of the men, but includes an index of women. Also included in these back cupboards are Tanguay's Genealogical Dictionary of French Canadian Families, Jetty's Dictionary of Quebec Families from the beginning of settlement to 1730, and Denison's Genealogy of the French Families of the Detroit River region, as well as many other genealogical directories. The Drouin Rouge, or Red Drouin, is the National Dictionary of French Canadians from 1608 to 1760. There is genealogical information for researching in England and Ireland. The City of Windsor directories cover most of the years from 1933 to 2003. There is the Veterans Collection of newspaper articles as well as member-donated information about veterans from this area, and so much more. Moving to the side shelves in the room, you will find notarial records from the Archives of Quebec, which lists the various contracts written by notaries listed by the name of the notary. And from the Judicial Archives of Quebec, you will find the marriage contracts listed in alphabetical order via surname of either the male or female surname. The USA collection is located on the last two sections of these side shelves. Included are genealogical information from many states, but Michigan will be the most relevant to us. There are Wayne County records from 1766 to 1780, and since Wayne County didn't exist during these time periods, early French inhabitants of the south side of the Detroit River may be included. At the very bottom of this collection, I just found the John Askin papers, and we'll be getting these digitized as soon as possible. Other items of interest include the early land transfers in Detroit and Wayne County, Michigan, from 1703 to 1796, and the marriages of St. Anne Church in Detroit from 1701 to 1850. Speaking of St. Anne's Church in Detroit, there is a cubicle in the center that houses the complete parish records of this church from 1701 to 1848, consisting of 14 volumes, the first 4 being an index. The index is alphabetical and gives you the page number where you will find that entry. Then you just need to find the volume that includes that page. The parish records includes baptisms, marriages, and burials. An interesting find was the marriage record for Antoine de la Motte, the seigneur of Cadillac, to Marie-Therese Guillon, which occurred in Quebec, but is included in the St. Anne's records due to the notoriety of the founder of Detroit. There are many more sections that I have not even touched on tonight. They include histories of Canada, Ontario, Quebec, and Windsor, census records from all over Canada, including early New France censuses, education, folklore, religion, archives of Quebec, Indigenous records, magazines, society newsletters, etc., etc. Hi, it's Linda again. I just wanted to make a couple of quick corrections. On the video, I think I referred to Delos Davis as the first Black mayor of Canada, which is not correct. I think if you could see from the actual article, he was the first Black lawyer in Canada. So sorry about that. Also, I incorrectly referred to St. Joseph's Church in River Canard as St. John's, but as you could see from the images on the books, they did say St. Joseph's. So again, sorry about that. So let's just continue with this short demonstration of the web page. I'm just going to give you a short demonstration on how to get into the Franco-Ontarian Research Center information. So here I am on the Essex County Branch website, essex.ogs.on.ca. And on the top section here, you can see the various tabs you can use, and there is a tab for the Franco-Ontarian Research Center. If you click on that, you are in. And this page gives you information about the center, about its hours of operation, where it is, and how to donate, and the research assistance that is provided. And then at the bottom, you will see the various
links to either files or folders. These files down here are the actual library file, as well as a list of genealogy, family histories that are in the center. And this one is a list of used books. I'm going to go to one of these indexes, the Amity Emery Card Index. And the first thing that I do when I go in is to make it larger, because usually it's a small screen. And so at the bottom of the screen here, you'll see, once it's loaded, you will see these messages here. This shows there's 708 pages. I'm on page 1. I can zoom it, and what I usually zoom it at is window width. I could rotate it if one of the pages in a file was sideways. I might use that button. But I'm going to search. I'm going to search for Drouillard. It's giving me 140 different Drouillards that are in here. So let's look at something else. How about Lang? Now this is only giving me 9, but that's not the Lang I'm looking for. You see that it's highlighted up here. So I'll go to the next result. And here are all the Langs here. So if I was interested in this Douglas Lang, I can see that he's on page 465 of the surname L, which is odd because you would think it would be, well, no, L for Lang. So I know I have to go to the Amity Emery Card Collection, surname L, and I've got to go to page 465. So I'll get out of there. And now I'm going to go to the members library. Now you notice I hadn't signed in yet, so I'm not in the members library. It's just the information about the library. You can take a full library tour here, but I'm going to log in so that I can get right into the members library. And I know that I want to go to the Franco-Ontarian Research Center. I want to look at the Amity Emery cards. And I want to go to surname L. It is in card collection 1. So I'm going to go to the surname L. It's still being loaded, so I just have to wait for a minute so that I can get into the page I want. 465. You see there are 2,212 pages. So 465. And now I'm at the actual card, and this is showing me the information. And in this case, it was an obituary. If I decided that I want to keep that, what I would do is go to my snipping tool. It's a new one. And I would take that, snip it out of there. And then as part of the snipping tool, I can then save it as, I can give it a name. I would probably call it Douglas Lang Obit. I would go to my documents and I would go to my genealogy file. And I have a Lang folder. I would put that in there. and save it. So that's a quick lesson on how to use the members library and the information that's on the public page. Hopefully you did notice that there are a number of items that you can look at without being a member. For example, there are some church histories. There are some actual obituaries. This one was by parish. This one was by cemetery that had been done by volunteers in the center. So you can get into things and you can take a look at them without being a member. Obituaries by cemetery. And if you know that your ancestor was buried in Green Lawn, again, I have to wait until it's complete. And then I'm just going to go page by page. I'll do a zoom. These aren't indexed, so it would be a matter of, I think they're alphabetical. So it would just be a matter of looking for someone. And if I wanted to keep this completely all to myself, I can download. On the public page, you can download the digital file. You can download it. Now I just downloaded for me, so now I know that if I go to my download folder, it will be there. So I'm going to get out of there now, and I think that's just the shortest little demonstration I could give. So if you have any questions, let me know.
Hi, it's Linda back again. I wasn't able to enter anything into the chat box, the handouts, because anytime I tried to do anything to my computer, the videos would stop. So, and I think you noticed the first one had to stop and start again. So anyway, I'm going to do that now, but maybe in the meantime, if there's any questions, if Cindy or any of the other ladies can take charge, that'd be great.
Hi, Linda. I don't see any questions yet, but I do see that. Oh, sorry, someone just popped on here. Thank you for the e-visit. I'm impressed. Can I come in tomorrow? So
It has to be a Tuesday.
yeah, so they're open, and that's another question is, what are your days and hours for the center? So correct me if I'm wrong, it's every Tuesday, 10 till 2, Linda?
Yep.
And one Saturday a month, which is it the second
Second
Saturday?
Saturday of the month, yes.
Second Saturday of the month. So